Board, shall we get started? What's my clock say?
Nice background, Mr. Chairman.
We can go ahead and get started. I'll take a roll once we get going.
I apologize. I just have to get some other technology going here. All right, then. At this time, we will call the meeting for the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District's Board of Directors meeting for February 11th, 2021. Will you please call the roll, Madam Chair, or Madam?
Yeah, no problem.
Clerk, Madam Clerk.
Madam Clerk, thank you.
Director Gould.
Present.
Orzali.
Here.
Wood.
Here.
Sheets.
Here.
Jones.
Present and here.
White.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Sailors.
Here.
And President Kelly, turning it back over to you.
Thank you. All right, then. Would everybody like to stand and pledge the flag? And repeat after Mr. Clark, please.
All right. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the
And
republic
for
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all.
All right, then. The Metro Cable announcement. The open session meeting is videotaped for Cablecast on Metro Cable 14. Replay on Monday, February 15th at 6 p.m. and Wednesday, February 17th at 2 p.m. on Channel 14. Webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within district jurisdiction, including items on or not on the agenda. Are there any speakers?
We did not have any speakers contact me beforehand. However, Art, if you could unmute all callers and give everyone a chance to speak if they so wish.
Yes, attendees, you now have the ability to unmute yourselves if there is anything you would like to present at this time. No response.
Hearing none, we will proceed. Consent items.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of consent items.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second on the consent items. Any questions? Seeing no questions, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Director Gould.
Aye.
Orzali.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Sheets.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Sailors.
Aye.
And Kelly.
Okay.
Motion.
At this time, I believe that we want to take care of closed session as our agenda is brief tonight. We will do that and make sure that the council is able to be freed up.
And President Kelly, if I could just interrupt for just a moment.
Please do.
I'm sorry, but I have a closed session running on my other computer and I do not see that Mr. Connor has joined us there quite yet.
Okay.
So I think we could maybe carry on with the meeting and I'll keep you posted when he does in fact join.
Okay, that's fine. Then we will start with reports. This has been lightning fast meeting this far. We are into reports at 6:04. All right. President's report. I have nothing to report. Fire Chief's report. Chief Harms.
Good evening, President Kelly and directors. As you said, quick meeting tonight. Reassignments for the district. Captain Scott Shields has been selected to fill the spot at EMS. That's a day captain assignment and started on the 2nd. For me, this past 2 weeks, assisted on the 2nd, we assisted the Consumnes Fire District with a deputy chief's interview and went down there and helped with that. On the 3rd, myself, Deputy Chief Tyler Wagaman, along with about 7 other members of the district, and Director White attended Deputy Gibson's funeral for the SAC Sheriff Officer. We had on the 4th, the California Metro Chiefs monthly meeting in which we host and I facilitated. On Saturday, the 6th, there was a celebration of life for Don Olson. Don was 45 years old and had been a member of our CERT program since the very beginning of it. Myself and Shandy Cornell spoke at that event, and we just had a great turnout from our members and members from the CERT that was there. We did a lot of work this week on mid-year budget, the mid-year budget review. We'll have that, I believe, at the next meeting. Amanda will be presenting that to the group. Worked with our local legislators at the state level, supporting fire service legislation as we move forward, along with some new EMS legislation that is being moved forward. The last thing is just thank you to all of you on Saturday for Fill the Boot over the weekend. They raised over $175,000, which is just incredible. I was able to raise about $7,000, which put me into the first place for the Chiefs Challenge. So again, thank all of you for assisting with that. And Chief White, thank you for being out there and competing also. I believe you came in 3rd place on that one there, but thank you for being out there. And that ends my report unless you have any questions.
Are there any questions of our chief?
No, this is Commissioner. This is Gay. Hey, yeah, might have come in 3rd, but both of you are first in our hearts, and thank you both for participating.
Number 1 in our hearts and minds.
Actually, Chief Mitchell with the operations report now.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, President Kelly, Board, Chief Harms, Adam Mitchell, Deputy Chief of Operations, with a few items for you tonight from Operations Report. First off, just cover some training items. We just finished up our first of 2 offerings for river and flood operations. 1 day of classroom, 2 days on the water out at William Pond. Good water levels this time of year allow us to do that and get more of our members trained for that target hazard when we do the water rescues on our rivers. Second, we have our annual required ARF training that's going to start at the end of this month. We're offering that course free of charge. With our partnership through the Industrial Emergency Council, we store their prop. And so we're able to get that content delivered to our members in return free from their instructors. So that'll be happening the last week of February. So another good item there. COVID status, some really promising news. We actually had a few days in this last week where we had no members whatsoever off duty, either positive or awaiting results. This is really, really a good sign. First time that's happened. And so we are currently, we have 1 member off recovering from a positive result. But that is much, much better than what we had back when we were above 90. So good news there. Total positives since the beginning of the pandemic, we're at 111. And then finally on the COVID front, the vaccination pod, we're still continuing to provide the second doses to those members who received that first dose there at Logistics. That'll be ongoing through the first part of March. We'll be able to support that through our distribution supply channels through County Health. And Cal Expo continues to be available for all for the vaccinations. So good news there as well. And then finally tonight for statistics, since our last meeting, we've had 3,483 dispatches and 1,926 transports. And then total calls for service, 3,652. And then building fires, we've had 12 since our last board meeting, and 5 of those were in our district. And then finally, some trivia here that's different than what we normally would report. Our busiest company, which is not the same as we've been reporting, and same with both the engine and the medic. Our busiest company is Engine 41 this time with 162 responses. And our busiest medic company, Medic 224 at 170. So a little bit of a change there, but I thought that was interesting since it's not Engine and Medic 53. So that's the end of my report for operations, unless there's any questions. I think you're on mute, Director Kelly.
Any questions of Chief Mitchell's report? Seeing none, okay. Then at this time, if there's any questions for the chief, no? Thank you for your report, Chief Mitchell. All right then. At this time, if everybody is okay with it, we'll move to closed session. I understand there are some technical things to deal with. Hopefully everybody will get there soon. At this time, I will close the regularly called meeting as we go to closed session. Is that cool air coming in the window there, Director White? Cool air coming through the window.
Oh. Just keeping the rain out.
I mean, you keep the rain out by opening the window?
No, it's closed.
You know, guys, I like seeing you guys, but tonight is one of those days that I'm glad we have a Zoom meeting.
That's how I felt eating. I had my second COVID vaccination, and oh man, whew, it was rough.
It looks like it tore. It looks like it tore your shirt
2 weeks ago
on your shoulder. It looks like it got torn. Did they just rip open your shoulder?
They're bows.
Oh, okay.
It's a girl thing. We don't expect.
So how was it? I mean, how did you feel? How do you feel after the second one?
You know, it was about 24 hours of not feeling well.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did great with the first one. It took about probably 12 hours, and then I was fine. And so I anticipated the second one was going to be not great. It wasn't.
Okay. I had some serious fatigue 2 days after I got the first one.
Yeah.
Is Jen, what
employees had no reaction. You know, my dad had no reaction or anything like that. I was I went into work and I left by 1 and then was in bed for a few hours, then attended the board meeting and went straight back to bed. And then I was fine.
What
vaccine they're really working.
What's that?
What vaccine did you receive?
The Moderna.
And you had the first shot, you felt unwell as also?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shoot.
Yeah. But it's all good. It's worth it.
I don't mean to brag, but I didn't have any reaction after either one, but I had the Pfizer. So
yeah.
All right. Board clerk, is everybody back?
Randy's not coming back.
Yeah, you're not going to believe this, but I'm waiting on Director Orzali.
No, you guys pissed him off.
We gave him a really hard time.
Those accolades were too soon, Director.
Guys, you made so much fun of the poor guy.
The accolades were worthy. He made it to closed session. They were worthy. All right then.
We can still get underway. We have a quorum. Everybody else is here.
If he would have made it back, I would have declared him the smartest man in the Zoom. But
so okay, you guys, quick, let's ditch him. Go.
Okay. While he's working on it. Okay, so we're complete. Firefighters Local 522 report. Is a representative from 522 available?
Yes, I am. Good evening, President Kelly and Board of Directors. Mr.
McGoldrick, hello.
Well, it's a brief tonight. There's not a whole lot to discuss, but I just wanted to extend my Thanks to all those that have helped out with the Boone Drive last weekend. It was a tremendous success, and also to the community that gave so generously at those street corners. I also wanted to say I had the chance today to stop by Station 61 and visit briefly with the crew and the firefighter that's in paramedic school. I just wanted to thank you for supporting that program. He's very excited about it, along with the other two members, and they're at week number 4 and everything's progressing well. So thank you again for that opportunity. That's all I have.
Thank you. Energized, excellent. Next. Good. All right, moving on to committee and delegate reports. Nothing from the executive committee. Chief Wagaman, the Communications Center JPA.
Yeah, good evening, President Kelly, directors, Fire Chief Harms, Tyler Wagaman, Deputy Chief of Support Services, speaking on behalf of the Com Center JPA board. The board last met on February 9th here at the Metro Chambers. And during that meeting, we did get a unanimous approval for an agreement between Local 150 and 856 to resolve an outstanding grievance with their healthcare pool fund. Stepping outside of the meeting just briefly, one of the big projects that the Com Center has been trying to launch for years now is the replacement of their UPS batteries. And the reason why it has taken so long is because they literally had to pull the power from the building for a 4-hour period of time. And we were finally able to do that and execute a plan that was very extensive on February 4th at 2 o'clock in the morning. The operation took just over 4 hours. I'm happy to report that we stood up the disaster recovery site for the first time. We were able to push 911 calls through that DR site. So I can say with confidence now that the site works, it functions like it's designed to do. And during that time frame, we were able to process 114 calls. So the UPS battery replacement was a huge success. And obviously, anytime that we have a large project like that, we were going to learn from some areas that we can certainly improve upon and capitalize on the things that we did well. So the Com Center is in the process of putting together a comprehensive after-action review. And I would love to share that with you as soon as it becomes available. A couple other items, just due to COVID, the launching of our EMD software, which was initially scheduled in January, early January, got delayed just due to an increased number of COVID positives. Now that that has slowed and everyone's back to work, they have started the training once again, and the new projected go live is the first week in March. So very excited to see that new software getting launched. It'll be a great addition for the Com Center. And lastly, their next academy is going to have 7 recruits, and they're going to be starting on March 8th. Our next board meeting is scheduled for March 9th. And that concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions of Chief Wagaman's report? Seeing none, hearing none. Chief Wagaman, thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Moving on to Chief Harms, the California Fire Rescue Training JPA.
Before we go on to that, I just want to compliment Tyler and all of the staff. When they did the shutdown, they were all here at 2 a.m. in the morning. This place was filled with people along with the dispatch center, and they did just a great job of planning it and then executing it. I got here early and everybody was still had smiles on their face and did just a great job at getting through that. As far as the fire rescue training JPA, we have not met. Our next meeting is April 15th. No other report.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your report. Any questions of Chief Harms' report? All right. Moving on to the Finance and Audit Committee. Director Orzali.
The Finance and Audit Committee is scheduled to meet again on the 25th of February, and there's no further report.
Thank you very much, sir. Any questions of the Finance Committee's report? Thank you again for your report, Director Orzali. Moving on to the Policy Committee.
Mr. Chair, the Policy Committee met this evening, elected new leadership in that committee. And we're a little troubled by that, but we'll let that move forward. And then we reviewed, Ms. Maddox presented the family medical leave materials and policy. There were slight changes, upgrades to current laws and regulations. And I would ask that it be agendized in our next meeting's agenda, please, for full review.
All right. Thank you, sir. Any questions of the policy committee's report? No? Were you able to claw onto and hang on to that committee chair's position?
Despite my best efforts, it remained.
Okay. Moving on to board members' questions and comments. From my left, Director Gould.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted
Director Kelly, before we move on, this is John Lavra. We should probably report out of the closed session.
If you'd like to do so at this time, I would appreciate it. Thank you again for keeping us on track.
Okay, thank you. The board met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 to consider the workers' compensation claim and matter of Christopher Anaya and Sac Metro Fire District. The board voted to give settlement authority to its third-party administrator to effectuate a settlement of all of those claims. Thank you.
Thank you for that report. Any questions on that issue, on that matter? No? Okay, moving on then. Board member comments, and from my right, actually, Director Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to again thank all of the leadership at Citrus Heights for allowing us to run the boot drive in their community to such a huge success, $175,000. What a huge opportunity given these times where it's difficult. But thank you for everyone that put that together. And it was kind of fun to drive by several times and keep dropping in the donations. So thank you very much for all of the wonderful men and women that volunteered their time to make that happen for the victims there at the Burn Institute. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Excellent, thank you. Director Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Nothing super duper to report, just a FYI for everybody. I did attend our first LAFCO meeting, Sacramento County LAFCO meeting of the year. And we do have 2 new members, City Council member Lolo E, as well as a new County Supervisor, Desmond. Just informational purposes only. Otherwise, thanks everybody. Keep up the good work.
Okay, Director Wood.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just echo the comments from Director Gould and wish everyone to stay safe and have a good weekend. Thank you.
All right then. From the left, Director White.
Well, I'd like to start by congratulating Chief Harms on his 4th consecutive Chiefs Challenge victory. 3 more and you'll be the GOAT, but I really do want to commend everyone in Metro Fire. You know, the commitment that you see out there from Metro Fire is outstanding. You know, you have a member up in the basket. The intersection was filled with Metro Fire members. Doesn't even give the other departments much of a chance, but hey, I finished 3rd, about $20 ahead of the city of Sacramento. And it's just nice to, you know, get by with a little help from my friends, both of them that I brought. But I would have to say it's really been impressive not just what Chief Harms has done, but what Metro Fire has done to support the Firefighter Burn Institute. Chief Harms raised the bar a couple of years ago and more or less doubled the amount that someone would need to even contend for the Chiefs Challenge. And for that, I'm very proud and appreciative of the support that Chief Harms and Metro Fire continue to provide the Firefighter Burn Institute. So thank you. And then lastly, I was hoping at the conclusion of the meeting that we could take a brief moment of silence for Bill Lopsitz. Bill Lopsitz was a captain with Metro Fire and a training officer, one of the finest training officers I ever had the pleasure and opportunity to work with. And he passed away on the 9th. And I'd just like to conclude today's meeting with a moment of silence for him. Thank you.
All right. Director Sheets.
Good evening. I don't have anything. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Director Wood.
I've said my piece. Thanks, Matt.
Okay. Director Clark.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, first of all, I'd like to congratulate the chief on his victory of the Fill the Boot contest, and also Director White for his third place. And I'm also very glad that we're making progress with the members and the cases, the reduction in cases of the COVID-19. I think that's really good. I'm real happy about that. And the other thing is, I'd like to thank the Central Labor Council for their $500 donation to the Burn Institute. It was a very good gesture on their part. They've always, the council has always donated, but in this year and these times, it was very good. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Director Sailors.
I have nothing tonight, so everyone have a good night. Thank you.
All right, then. Congratulations, Chief. Congratulations, Chief White, on your efforts. Chief, you need to set up Apple Pay. I could have sent you $100, but when I tried to do it, I got the message that you don't have Apple Pay set up on your phone. Anyhow.
Mr. Chair?
Yes?
Oh, thank you. In addition to the remembrance that Walt requested, we should also please add our CERT member to the remembrance time at the end of the meeting, please.
I thought we tried to do that last time, but certainly it's worthy to stand up for him again. All right, then. Okay. I've got nothing further, and we will stand for Captain Lobsitz and our CERT member. Stand a moment in silence. All right. Thank you. I hope everybody has a safe evening. Enjoy, well, 4-day weekend for some.
Mr. President?
Yes.
I'd just like to interject here. My congratulations to the chief and Metro Fire and to Walt White as well. But on a personal note, in the last meeting when I was again trying to help Arthur Hong become more proficient in technology, I was not able to participate in the meeting, but I was able to watch. I want you to know how much I appreciated the support from the board in carrying that initiative for the letter forward. It was something that was important that we do. And we had a community member who had made a tremendous effort. And there was a discussion about, well, since I couldn't participate, should it be tabled? And you guys did a fantastic job. I really appreciated it in saying, let's move forward. And so thank you very much.
You're certainly welcome. Thank you, Director Orzelli. Did I give you an opportunity to speak under comments?
No, but nobody protested.
Take the hint next time. Oh, I love everybody.
Oh, we got to close it up.
Everybody have a safe weekend. And this will be the adjournment of Metro Fire's Board of Directors meeting for February 11th. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Night.